when we do anything meaningful in life, it's normally difficult, right? So whether you're thinking of getting married, taking a new job, starting a new business, losing weight, it all requires a dream followed by action and challenges. If you look at the experiences that we have as entrepreneurs, there's really 10 distinct phases that we go through, and it's important to understand these phases so that when we're in a certain phase, we understand its context and we're not discouraged or overly encouraged by it. Okay, so I want to go through these 10 phases so that when you go about doing your things, you recognize it being a certain phase, you know that you are part of a process and that you don't get discouraged and you keep on going. So the first phase of successful entrepreneurs starts with drifting. Drifting means that this is the phase where we're just kind of going through the motions. There's really nothing that's getting us very excited. There's nothing really that's creating us stress. We're kind of bored, or possibly we're too busy. Okay, maybe we're too busy with a job or a family, and we're just kind of drifting through life without really thinking about things. This is a very dangerous phase. Most people are in this phase, okay? And you might be daydreaming about, leaving your job, but really you don't really think about it, or you don't really want it that much. You're just kind of drifting along. The second phase is discontent. This is where things start bothering you a little bit. Maybe you're bothered by your boredom, or you're bothered by the fact that you're busy constantly, or you're doing this and that thing. So there's this discontent that wells up inside you. And it's very important at this phase to kind of listen to yourself, because something is trying to tell you something, and you should listen to that. And that brings us to the third phase, which is dream. Once you've developed this discontent, you then start to think about what could be. So if the discontent is caused maybe by your job, or your idea of working for the man for the next 30 years doesn't appeal to you, and that really starts to bother you, right? Then you start thinking about other things. You start dreaming. Now, what if? What if I could leave my job? What if I could be financially independent? Wow, wouldn't that be great? What would I do? How would I get there? So you start developing a dream. And at one point, we get to the next step, and that's the decision step. This is the point where we decide to commit to a course of action, to a dream in our minds. We said, we are going to do this. We're going to go on this diet. All right, we're going to start our own business. We decide to commit to a course of action and to a dream. And then the next step is to take action. And this is sometimes the overwhelming step, because we decide to take action, but we kind of feel overwhelmed. We don't really know what to do. We're overwhelmed by the enormity of all. I need to lose 30 pounds. How am I going to do that? I'm going to buy my first apartment building. I'm going to have to raise $500,000. I'm going to buy my first $2 million apartment building. Whatever it is, it's this big dream you have because you did the math and you said, I need this much income to quit my job. And so that's the kind of thing I need to do. So you quickly feel overwhelmed. And here's my advice to that. My advice is to use always think of the next 3 things to do. Don't make a list of the 101 things that need to happen over the course of the next 9 months for you to get to where you need to get to. Just think of the next 3 things that you need to do. Write them down and do them. Now, normally you're done with those 3 anywhere from a day to a week. Okay? You're done. You cross them off your list. You write the next 3 down. Okay? You don't stress yourself out. You just write them down. And then all of a sudden, 3 months later, you look up and you look at your list. And you're like, holy cow, look at all the stuff I've accomplished. And you would never have started down that road if you had made that list of 99 things. You would have been so overwhelmed, you wouldn't even have started. So only look at the next 3 things. The other factor here in take action step is you need to develop a strong sense of faith. You need to believe that what you're doing is not only worthwhile, but possible. Okay, because otherwise, why would you take action on something that you wouldn't believe is going to pan out? If your dream is to quit your job in 5 years, okay, then the only way that you would actually take action, maybe spend money on education and spend your waking hours analyzing deals and making offers, if you didn't believe that you could do it, why bother? So you need to develop a very strong sense of faith where you're stepping out in faith. You're doing something with the expectancy of success, even though where you sit right now, there's no prospect for it as well. So developing that belief at this stage is very important. Now, once we've taken action and we've kind of stepped out in faith a little bit, we're doing stuff, we're acting, you know, and what I found repeatedly is that we get open doors. We get this early success, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. I can't believe how easy it is. When I first got into flipping houses, I had a mentor, and we did a postcard campaign. We sent out 2,000 postcards to out of area landlords, and I got 2 deals off the first set of postcard, and I was like, I am the man. And Tom, my mentor, was like, normally this takes 6, 9, 12 months to get your first deal. He goes, no, Tom, you got it wrong, because I'm that good. And I've had it with other things as well. Anything I start kind of in faith, all of a sudden these doors open, you get this early success. So that's kind of the open door stage. Then after that passes, you kind of get into your challenge phase. Okay, the challenge phase after your early success, which kind of affirms that you're on the right path. For some reason, the universe throws a couple curveballs at you, maybe more than a couple. Okay, maybe things don't go as planned. They take longer than you want, and you really become discouraged. Okay, so in my case, yes, I got those 2 deals, and I got was very happy, and but that third deal, because these 2 deals were from the same seller. Okay, so really I only had one seller. That third deal didn't happen, just didn't happen. And at that point, I became very discouraged, and I was questioning the whole, probably the mentor system was broken, or I'm not capable. And I was like, basically, I got lucky. Okay, and so now you're in the challenge phase, and this can be very discouraging. And sometimes, not always, it's followed by the next stage, which is the dead end stage. Okay, this is basically the point where it just doesn't get any better. It actually gets worse, and there seems to be no prospect for success. And this is where the majority of people simply give up. There's that story about finding the gold diggers or whatever. I can't remember the exact story. I should probably look it up. There's a story of someone who bought a piece of land, and he's digging for gold, and he's digging and months, never finds anything but a few ounces of gold, and gives up, sells the land to some prospector, who then hires an engineer, finds the vein of the gold. Okay, and they were literally a foot away from hitting that vein of gold. Isn't that amazing? And as I talk to other people, maybe had the same experience, other successful entrepreneurs, and you talk to them about their story, they oftentimes experience this dead end phase. Okay, where they're like, this whole thing is not going anywhere. I have completely failed, and they persist, and all of a sudden they follow the last phase, which is the breakthrough phase. Okay, suddenly, all of a sudden they experience this breakthrough, and when you look at this thing, they're like, oh my gosh, overnight success, but really it's not overnight success at all. It's been an entire process. In fact, one with highs and lows and highs. And so the reason this is important, understanding these 10 phases, is that when you start something, you need to understand that it's not going to be an easy process. It's a very intentional process. You have to decide that you want to do something. And that only comes from an area of discontent. So you need to listen to yourself. You need to pay attention. Don't just drift through life. You need to listen to yourself and then dream your dream. Decide that you're going to do something about it and take action. Okay, you need to take action. You need to step out in faith. You can't have a prospect for success. You got to develop that belief that what you're doing is going to be successful. Yes, invest in education, get a mentor, read books, attend seminars, take action. Okay, I see so many people not take action. Frustrates me to no end. Now, when you do take action, you'll probably experience success, which is an affirmation of what you're doing, and that's great. And then get ready for the challenges. And when you do, remind yourself of the why. This is why the why is so important, because if you don't answer that why for you personally, emotionally, and it's got to be more than money, you are not going to survive the challenge and dead end phase. You're like, this is too difficult for me. I'm just going to give up. And the reason you give up is because what you formerly had was actually acceptable to you in the first place. So going back to your job, isn't that bad. So you really have to spend a lot of time on the why. More than anything else is really think about that. That will keep you going. You talk to entrepreneurs that have experienced failure, setbacks. They have always motivated themselves through their why. Okay, whatever that is, it's got to be a really strong emotional thing for you. So those are the 10 phases, and hopefully it'll help you as you embark on your own entrepreneurial venture. Hey there, and thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I'm going to give you 3 things to do in sequence. Let me give you a quick tour of what those 3 things are, and then I'll show you how to do them. Number 1 is to download my free ebook called The 10-Minute Offer. It's all about making offers quickly, accurately, to give you confidence about analyzing deals and making offers. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I put out new videos all the time and I want you to make sure you get them. That's number 2. Number 3 is to watch the next video in line. All right, so I'm going to go give you a chance to do that right now. And when you click on one of these things, a new tab will open up, and for the ebook. Okay, so click on the ebook, and new tab will open up. The video will stop playing. You can go back to the video and click on step 2, which is subscribe to the channel. That'll open up a new tab as well. And then 3 is when you click on the last one to watch the next video in line. That'll open up in the current window. All right, I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you in the next video.